Hello and welcome to Mushroom Moon Designs. Today we're talking about core values, and later in the video we'll be making some mixed media core value cards. But first, what are core values? Core values are the principles that matter most to us as individuals. Values are not about what you can get, like a car or a bigger house, but what kind of person you are through your actions. They guide how we behave and act, behaviours like kindness, creativity or wisdom. There are no right or wrong values. Each person's core values are unique to them. It's best to choose 3 to 5 key values, ones that truly shape how you want to live your life. Core values are important because they help guide you to live a life you're proud of. They give your life direction and meaning, helping you make difficult choices with confidence. When times get tough, your core values can act as a compass, keeping you grounded. They also help you build positive relationships with like-minded people and can even boost your motivation and happiness. By staying true to your values, you create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling. How do you discover your personal core values? One of the best ways is by doing a simple core values exercise. Start with a list of words. I've provided some here, or you can find plenty online by searching for core value words. You can also come up with your own words. There's no right or wrong answer. Go through the list of words and circle or write down any words that resonate with you. Aim for up to 20 words at first. Then, start narrowing them down. Which ones feel the most important? Which ones truly define how you want to live? Keep refining your list until you're left with just 3 to 5 words. These are your core values, the principles that matter most to you. They'll help you guide your decisions, shape your actions, and bring meaning to your life. So, grab a notebook and give it a try. Do you need some more help finding your core values? Try answering these questions to gain more clarity. What kind of person do I want to be? What qualities do the people I admire possess? For what qualities and behaviours would I most like to be remembered? What behaviour could I not live without? What qualities do I dislike in others? And finally, what behaviours make me feel really good and which ones make me feel bad? Taking time to reflect on these can help you uncover the values that truly matter to you. The next step is to start looking at ways to live these values. Let them guide your choices, behaviours and actions. Keep watching and we're going to make some core value cards. So to begin, I get out a selection of collage papers and I try to collect some papers with a cohesive colour palette. I'm drawn here to warm colours such as pinks, oranges and purples and reds, and then I've also added a splash of green or turquoise. They're a mixture of gel plate prints on tissue paper and on plain paper. I'm using matte gel medium to stick them onto my substrate, and the substrate is just cardstock, plain white cardstock measuring 8 by 6 inches. And so all I'm doing is cutting the papers into rectangles of different widths and lengths and placing them over the substrate until it is completely covered. I'm using a big painter's brush just to make it easier to add the gel matte medium. And I keep adding on layers. I've also added in some little bits of brown paper, and I add it all until it's completely covered. Then I'm just drying it, so throughout the video I'll be drying in between each layer, and I just trim around the edges to make it nice and neat. Next I'm using a stencil. This is script stencil, and I'm just using some green acrylic paint to add some stencil marks. I'm using another stencil here. This is a zigzag stencil with some yellow acrylic paints, and I'm just adding that on with a little sponge, each layer drying in between. Now I'm going in with a black acrylic paint marker, and I am just adding some dots all around the piece. Next I'm using a big chunky chisel nibbed Posca pen to make some dark lines, and I'm using a white acrylic paint marker to make some circles. Next layer is some scribble script. I'm just using a gold pen and scribbling some script over the whole substrate. After this, I cut up my cards into 2.5 by 3.5 inches. I do this by turning the card over and measuring, not really looking at what the cards will look like at the end, and this makes it more random. Once I have done that, I am getting out some distress ink and some little alphabet stamps, and I am writing out the value words that are important to me. So that includes creativity, depth, learning, resilience, and connection. So I'm placing them roughly onto the cards, just setting them out, and then I'm just going through picking out some labels, just blank labels that I can use to add layers into my cards. Then I'm using some hand-drawn doodle flowers. These are just flowers drawn with a black mark pen on some white cardstock and cut out, leaving a bit of a white outline. So I continue building up my cards by adding a small piece of brown paper, a label, and my value words. And each card is slightly different. It might be laid up in a slightly different way, or perhaps the words are put on in a different direction. But using all these similar elements makes the cards into a cohesive set. To finish off my cards, I go around the edges, covering up all of the white with the distress ink, some extra white elements with the white acrylic marker pen, and then as an extra I am writing on the back of my cards what the value words mean to me. So, for example, the word creativity might mean something different to me than to somebody else. For me, it's making art, making beautiful things, crafting, things like that. But to somebody else, it might be thinking outside the box, or cooking, or playing music. So once you've finished your value cards, here are some ideas of what you might like to do with them. You could display them to remind yourself of your values so that you can live them every day. You could put them in a journal or use them as journaling prompts to write about the words and what they mean to you. Or you could carry them in your purse and use them to remind you while you're out and about of your values. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.